African state of Mauritania recently handed down harsh prison sentences to more than a dozen anti-slavery activists. These prisoners are Hariteens. There's an ethnic group that has been held in bondage for centuries by the Arab Berbers who control Mauritania's government and society. VOA's senior investigative analyst Jeffrey Young details the situation faced by Hariteens and the outrage at Mauritania expressed by anti-slavery NGOs.
Enslaved for life. For centuries, members of Mauritania's dark-skinned Haritin ethnic group have been bought and sold like cattle by the lighter-complected Berbers who dominate that Northwest African state's government and society. And when people, especially Haritins, stand up in defiance to slavery, the response has been harsh. This August, 13 anti-slavery activists with the Initiative for the Resurgence of the Abolitionist Movement, the IRA, were sent to prison after being convicted of charges connected to late June demonstrations by Haritin in Mauritania's capital, Nouakchott. An anti-slavery NGO, the National Underground Railway Freedom Center, says this was a perversion of justice. NURFC spokesperson Brooke Hathaway via Skype.
It's unfortunate that they have been both arrested and prosecuted and now convicted of a crime that they first didn't commit, and then two, should not be one that is authorized in any government in this day and age.
Mauritania in 1981 became the last country on earth to officially abolish slavery, but it is still pervasive, despite laws, including ones enacted in 2003 and 2007, that criminalized the practice. Human rights NGOs and others have estimated that up to 20% of Mauritania's population may be held in bondage. Anti-slavery activists assert that Mauritania's laws were enacted only to quiet down outside criticism and were not intended to be enforced. One of them, via Skype, is NGO Society for Threatened Peoples official Hanno Schedler.
We think that the government has created these laws mostly to please the European Union, the United States, who've been pressing for the enforcement of anti-slavery laws.
Schedler and other activists say the Mauritanian government rarely, if ever, arrests and prosecutes those who enslave others, and that there are economic and political reasons why this two-faced situation persists, as explained via Skype by NGO Anti-Slavery International's Africa Program Director Sarah Matthewson.
Well, it's a very lucrative economic system that a lot of elites have an interest in maintaining. And those are the elites that the Mauritanian government depends on in order to have power and to secure its power in the long term.
Mauritanian slave masters hand down their human property generation after generation, so control of a family's Haritin is always maintained. But not all Haritin are slaves. A number of those who are free and have education fill the ranks of Mauritanian anti-slavery movements, such as the IRA. In return, Mauritania has declared the IRA and similar groups to be extremist. But these anti-slavery activists refuse to be silenced. Again, Anti-Slavery International Sarah Matthewson.
So what IRA is doing is often perceived as very controversial. They have done a few publicity stunts that haven't gone down well at all with the government, but they are trying to do what they can to draw international and national attention to this urgent human rights crisis.
These NGOs and other anti-slavery activists say what's needed to change Mauritania's behavior is for international organizations and foreign governments to tie any engagement, money, or development assistance offered to provable adherence to its own anti-slavery laws, including prosecution and punishment for those involved. Jeffrey Young, VOA News.